this morning. I'd say at least a dozen, and most of them weren't any good. So I'm going to show a commercial to start off because I thought it was funny. And I'm all set, I think.
They've reached the atmosphere.
Give me a live visual.
We've tried contacting them. No response.
Yes.
Hi, son. It's Mommy.
I'm in a business
But I
meeting.
can't remember how to connect my cell phone to the internet.
I have taught you 1,000,000 times. Can't you call me later?
General, we're losing Tokyo
General.
and Paris.
Now
General,
I have to schedule a meeting to talk to my own son.
if we die today,
Are we gonna die, sir?
I'd like you to know
I
that
can't hear you,
I've
darling.
always loved you.
Could you go to a quieter place?
Oh.
Son.
Have a break. Have a KitKat.
How is your new mouse?
Fine, it's fine. I went to that doctor you told me, but
Okay, that's enough of that. I know. I should be more serious, but you got to have a little fun sometimes. And so I thought I would. Kit Kat. If the world is ending, have a Kit Kat. That was a great commercial. I love that. It's probably a UK commercial. I don't know what happened last week with that. This content is not available in your country, but I managed to scarf that one up. So on that note, let's go over to McDonald's. I misunderstood this personalized menus. Okay, so McDonald's has now acquired Dynamic Yield, which is a company that changes the menu board at McDonald's. That's the basic gist of it. It varies its electronic menu boards in response to variables such as the climate, time of day, and region, and flogging more McFlurries on warm days and Egg McMuffins in the mornings. Now, of course, one of the things I like about McDonald's is that I know what to order when I go there. Not only that, maybe even more important, the person in front of me knows what to order when they get there. So they're not like, well, what can I have today? When I go to Dairy Queen, it's like, I've never been here before, even though I've been here my whole life, but they keep changing the menu boards. So it'll be really interesting to see what it does to their time to order. And whether it pays off in any meaningful sense. Because I get ice cream cones basically no matter what the weather. Now, I worked with Blockbuster for a couple, I never really billed them for it, but I used to go and visit with their number 2 guy. And, he told me that the top 10 reasons why people rented videos happened to be the weather was like the top 5 of the top 10. A hurricane, a snowstorm. He said if we could rent blizzards, we would just make a fortune. I also found out just not too long ago, and I think I shared it, that while Blockbuster knew about the idea of returning CDs or VHSs in the mail, they didn't want to do it because a big portion of their revenue came from late charges, because people had to go to the store. And then, of course, that would also open them up to renting a different video. Whereas if they mailed them back, they would have less interaction. So for those 2 reasons, they didn't care about Netflix when it started. And they probably should have. But, I think McDonald's business model is you know what you're getting and you get what you know. So this could really mess this up. In case you haven't thought about this, McDonald's, after 300 million. I hope you tested it. Well, I'm assuming they tested it a lot. Okay? And that wasn't much of an article. Okay, now we're going to talk about email personalization, which is, I had the McDonald's and the other one because, I thought it said it was going to supersize its personalization. And what it meant was it was going to flip around stuff, which may or may not be beneficial. We'll see. But it made a lot of sense to me that people who supersize may be more susceptible to benefits. I like the McDouble. Anyway, so James Glover, I wrote to you on LinkedIn. I hope you're here. We're going to talk about your article. I work with an AI company, and I sent this off to him because I liked the article. And oh man, I work with two companies, IntelliKey, which is Mark Graham, and I always can remember. It took me years to remember his name, and then the AI company, and it has AI in the name, but it's way at the back. So I would have rather had it in the front. It's a great name, Illuminary. That's the name, Illuminary, and they handled the personalization for Sears. As Sears had fewer and fewer employees handling their marketing, this company took over and did kind of the stuff that we're talking about and at McDonald's. And they did some 40 million emails. They managed the personalization for 40 million emails. I don't know if that was a day, a week, a month, whatever it was, but it was a lot. And it does bother me a little bit, the personalization, because Amazon, when they started, it was people who bought this book also bought. Simple, doesn't claim to understand your brain, doesn't try to predict what you're going to do, just says, hey, you might also like this. Doesn't even say that, which is a quite a much more dramatic claim. It just says people who bought this also bought that. Very, very well done. And now they have all this AI. Netflix, offered $1 million prize if you could beat their personalization algorithm, which someone finally did, but it was so complicated, and it only beat it by a little smidgen that Netflix didn't even want to implement it. Right? So keep it simple. But anyway, I ordered some whiskey glasses, little whiskey glasses, real cute little, they're special, Glencairn whiskey glasses, and I got an offer for a bug vacuum. I still don't get it, but they claimed AI did it, had something to do with it. I actually got a reply. So you might want to take your time rolling this out. Okay. One idea is to have reusable creative assets because, even if you're writing them by hand yourself, you're still going to reuse this. How many times can you say buy one, get one free, or limited time offer, or, spring special, or whatever? There's only a few. So putting them in parameters and maybe varying the item or something, that makes a lot of sense, James. Guardrails, I like that. Never combine raincoats and sunglasses in the same email. Never include a promotional offer with a high ticket item. I think that, there's a lot of don'ts that you can. It's easier to program do nots than it is to say I'm only going to feature ink pens in emails containing office supplies. This is the part that I have a little trouble with. The real power of AI lies in its ability not only to follow rules, but to learn from them and get better at personalization. I really favor holdout, split test, and the fundamentals of direct marketing. Look up Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins, scientificadvertising.com. And when you take control of the setup, I think you learn more. You get better testing and better hypotheses. You should also check out my article called Did Direct Marketing Swing the Election? It's over on WDMA.org and also on ISSM.org. Have a great day. We'll try to find some real news tomorrow. I'm John Miglosh.